In today's video, we're going to be reacting to a guy that's on the ground talking about the US cost of living and how expensive it is to actually live here, how expensive to actually just try to thrive in the US is super difficult. This guy is basically going to be completely honest with us, brutally honest, and give us his experience of what cost of living really is like out here. So let's see what this guy's talking about.
And, I don't want to seem like a lazy bum when I seen this, but I truly feel like it's just about impossible. If you weren't raised and given a good first hand in life, or a support team who will make sure no matter what that you don't fail, or, having people that you're able to fall back on, you're blessed.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's impossible to live in the United States? Do you really need that support system? Do you need your family to help you out? Do you need your friends or your work colleagues to help you out? To be honest, I mean, we're kind of doing it. We're the only family members that live in the state, and we're making it. We're doing well, at least to my standards. At least I believe so. I mean, I don't think you need the support system. I don't think you have to be set up in a good way either, because there are a lot of people out here that had nothing growing up and made something of themselves. You know, it takes a lot of work to make it anywhere, not just here in the United States, but anywhere. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort.
And if you are one of those people, I highly suggest you thank those people near you, because a lot of us aren't blessed like that. I'm a 23-year-old dad. I've got 2 kids. I've got about to be a 5-year-old in May, and I've got a newborn too. She's just a few weeks old, like 3 weeks.
Jeez. My guy had a baby. He had a baby at 18 years old. Yeah, it's tough when you have a 5-year-old and then you have another baby that's a few months. It's super difficult. We just had our first baby and it's super difficult. He was a kid and he had a kid at 18 years old. Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Yes, it's going to be difficult when you have a kid that young. You're going to have to jump right into working, right into a full-time job, bring in income, providing for your family, because now you have someone that can't provide for themselves. It's a choice that he made to have a kid 5 years ago at 18 years old. And now I guess it's tough out here. People aren't even thinking about kids that age and, still struggling. Were you struggling when you had the 5-year-old and then you go and have another kid and then you expect to not be struggling anymore?
So my wife gets to stay at home and take care of the babies, and I'm out here trying to get it.
Yeah.
I'm on my 3rd shift job now. I'm a security officer for Allied Universal. No, I don't represent the company in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This is just a job. I am not a part of this company. But, and I work here from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day, 8-hour shift. I get off of this 3rd shift job and I go directly into another job, which I just go around my city finding side jobs. It might be a clean out one day and I go out there for another 5, 6, 7 hours. It might be landscaping another day. It might be painting one day. It could be, it varies. I do what I can.
Yes, it's expensive out here. Yes, egg prices and cards are expensive. Everything's expensive. This almost comes off as a self-inflicted wound. I have 2 kids at 23 years old. So some sacrifices are going to have to be made. You might have to work 2 or 3 jobs because you have 2 kids that are under 5 years old. So it's hard for me to sympathize with him. It's like he has to do this. He decided to have 2 kids when he probably wasn't ready. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh.
Where I can. But therein, I go home and I have to stay up even longer to make sure that my lady is able to get her rest too, because,
Yeah.
I mean, being a mom's a hard job. Yes, I'm working hard, but being a mom is a hard mental job as well in its own. So I have to stay up for a little bit in order to give her time to actually rest and get her sleep too, because she needs it. But I say that to say all this, having people to fall back on. Let's say you're going down the road and, like my case, my heater core blows up. I don't have no one I can call to say, hey, can I borrow $400 so I can get my heater core replaced? Or, you got $400 so I can get new tires on my vehicle. That is just something you have to figure out on your own. And as somebody with terrible credit, you can't just go get a loan for these things. The only loan you could get is a title loan. And
I mean, sometimes I feel like that's called adulting. I don't know. I'm not. I feel for this guy. Like, it's tough out here. And I'm in the same situation. Like, who am I going to call? Like, maybe I can call my mom, my dad. I have an emergency fund. It's all about how you set your life up. Like, maybe if he didn't have kids so young, he might have been able to save more money. His wife might have been able to work, and they could have brought in money together, and then kind of prepare themselves for her to be a stay-at-home mom, and using that money that they saved to kind of fund their to help fund their life. But instead, he had a baby at 18, and then just had another one, and then he also doesn't have any help, and then he also has a mortgage or rent, and he's not able to save as much money to pay for things that happen. I mean, I guess this is really all about the support system and not having one. You can't just rely on your support system to kind of fund your lifestyle and to kind of fund, not even fund your lifestyle, but to fund you and help you out with emergencies. Like, you can't rely on that. I can't rely on my parents to come help me out with my emergencies.
In a lot of states, title loans are illegal for a reason. I'm stuck in this title loan, having to pay them back $4,300, but I have to pay $700 a month just to drive. That doesn't go toward my principal, on top of having to pay my rent and all the other bills just to survive. It's impossible. You know, I would never hurt or harm myself in any way, but sometimes I just wonder why. Why am I here? I mean, there's got to be a reason why, like, life is so hard for me. What if it's not meant for me? This shit drives a lot of people to anger, man, and I understand. I truly do. You know, people say maybe these next 4 years. No, this is literally impossible. There is nothing no president is able to do to save people from what we are having to go through. Housing at an all-time high. You know, you could go to another country and you can have the same homes here for a tenth of the price that we're paying per month. Food the same exact way. And I just feel like
Yeah, that's true. You can't go to other countries. And I was just looking at this the other day. This woman, they were talking about moving to Zambia. It's this country in Africa, and basically they move there. They can make $20,000 or something like that. And in Zambia, like the comparison is maybe like 100,000. It was some crazy number. But if you move to Zambia, how much money are you actually gonna make? You know, I mean, I think everything has its checks and balances. If you actually work and live in another country, you might not make as much as you do here. Like, everything has its checks and balances. Maybe if you were able to retire here, you know, build a good income here, and then retire here, and then move to another country with the income that you made from the States, and actually deploy that money into, you know, that city or that environment, then it definitely makes sense. I mean, yes, the cost of living here is crazy. Houses are crazy, but not every state has these expensive homes. Maybe you have to move.
it's impossible. If I was a drug addict, if I was a piece of shit dad, I could have so much more help. But with me out here trying to do everything the right way, you know, and nothing's working, nothing's helping. Um, Life absolutely sucks right now. It truly, truly sucks. And there's no way to get out of it than to continue to dig myself into working and trying to come up out of this hole that seems impossible to come out of. You know, sorry for the rant. I'm not usually the ranting type. I'm just tired. I'm sick.
And sometimes this is the struggle of being middle class. And it's like, you don't make enough money to live that lavish life, but then you make too much money to get assistance from the government. You make too much money to get food stamps or housing assistance. So it's like you're right in the middle. It's like, what do you do? Do you just stop working and try to get assistance, or do you try to make more? And then how do you make more? It's not as easy as it sounds to just make more money. So this is like the difficulties of living in the middle class, where a lot of Americans are, including us. We're middle class, and we don't have access to assistance, but then we also don't have access to all this wealth. So that's why we invest and try our best, and that's why we house hack and do all these other things to kind of get ahead in life.
Having to live the way that we have to live just to survive because it's nonsense. It truly is. I mean, I try my absolute hardest and I'm not getting anywhere. A lot of you are able to fall back on TikTok. I can't fall back on TikTok. Every time I try to get a video to blow up, it never does. And I'm not going against any standards. There's people doing way worse shit than me and they're getting way more views and everything. But yet, whenever I want views, I have to pay for them. Not me. I don't have that extra funding. You know, and then you pay for it, and then there's no guarantee that you have those same people coming right back. You pay for the views, and then afterwards, you're back in a 200 views.
It's a grind. I mean, any kind of business you do outside of your work is a grind. I have a lot of struggles just creating videos because I just started going back to work, got off my baby leave a few months ago, and it was so easy to make videos because all I had to do was take care of the baby, hang out with the wife, and make some videos. But now that I'm back at work, I have another thing to take care of. So I have to take care of work now, to come home, hang out, and then I have to make videos. I've not been on my grind as much as I should to be making videos, but I'm still grinding. I'm still trying. Like, I've been doing this for a year now. My views are up and down. The subscribers are up and down. This social media thing takes a long time, and you have to be dedicated. And, like he said, he's getting the 200 views and other people are blowing up, and you just got to keep grinding and making videos that you're passionate about, making content that you're passionate about. And I'm going to keep making content. So basically it feels like this guy is in the middle class, and a lot of us are in the middle class, and we're not able to get assistance from the government. We're not able to get assistance for food stamps or housing, and that sucks. But the alternative is to make more money. I'm pretty sure he already has 2 jobs. So how much more can he actually add onto his plate? He had kids. He can't go back in time and not have those kids. And I'm sure he's super happy and grateful that he had those kids, but that's a money breaker too. It's super important to plan on when you're having kids and not just go out here all willy-nilly having kids, especially at a young age like that. Who knows, if he didn't have kids, or if he would have waited or properly planned to have kids, then he might be in a different situation. And like people say, you can't really plan to have kids. You can't really estimate how much it's going to cost, but you can definitely wait until you're in a good situation, until your family's in a good situation, and then you guys can sit down and talk about whether you want to have kids or not. Let me know what you guys think about this video. And if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.